Hello everybody and welcome back to RainBro Crafts. My name is of course Colton, and today we will be making for you our 5th soap in our Citrus in July 2026 collection, and that soap is our Velvet Moon soap. A little bit of a backstory on this Velvet Moon soap. In January of last year, so of 2025, we did a series of 6 essential oil only scented soaps to determine what is most popular with our customers. Basically, whichever one sold out first was the one that got added into our permanent collection. Velvet Moon was the second place winner of that competition, tied with Lumberjill. The first place soap was Zesty, which is a blend of red mandarin, blood orange, and there's another citrus scent in there. This one was my most favorite, and it's because there's patchouli in there, and I just love a patchouli scented soap. Before we get to adding our signature essential oil blend to this, Zac will blitz up the, and this isn't Zac again, this is me. I don't know why I keep saying that. No, this is Zac. I don't know why I'm so confused between the two of us. Anyways, we will add in our colorant, some lime, patchouli, and clove essential oil. That colorant is a silver mica. We did a silver mica in the original design, and I'll put a card up in the corner if I can find that. And we just basically are using that same design technique and theory for this soap. The really weird thing with this fragrance oil blend is that it smells almost the exact same as Pepsi, the soda, and I don't know what the actual flavors in Pepsi are, but apparently lime, patchouli, and clove smell just like a Pepsi, like a flat Pepsi. There's not like that like carbonated quality into this fragrance oil, but kind of spoiler alert, the last video for our Citrus in July, the one that's going to come out on probably Friday, is a fragrance oil that does have a like weirdly carbonated scent, and I'm not sure how that actually works out. It's really weird. So Zac has blitzed up the soap batter with the fragrance oil, or I guess I should say the essential oil, the colorant, and this is to a pretty light trace. We are going to do a 2-layered soap design with this. And while we know how this actually behaves, we want to give ourselves as much working time as possible. When you are formulating fragrance oils, if you're not testing smaller batches, it's always a good idea to just kind of keep everything nice and simple, which is one of the reasons we have this design this way, is because we weren't sure how this blend would behave in soap. We had a general idea because we'd used all of these like separate components in other blends, but you never know. Sometimes mixing things causes weird stuff to happen. You can see that it is a little thicker than what we usually pour at, but that's okay because we are going to want to have this bottom layer set up nicely before we actually pour on that top layer of soap. Alrighty, now that we've gotten that Cambro all the way scraped out and we've let this soap batter set up a little bit, we'll go in with our bar spoon and we'll just do some spoon swoops from front to back to give a little extra dimension. The one thing that you want to make sure if you're making soap and you're doing spoon swoops is that you're doing them in the correct direction. And by that I mean whatever the front of your bar of soap is going to be is where you want the texture to show up. If we sliced our slab the wrong way here and we did it horizontal instead of vertical, it basically would just look like a normal mica line. But if we're cutting it the way that we are doing our spoon swoops here, you're gonna see that like textural difference between where you're pushing the soap from and making that like mound. So just make sure that you do that, because we've definitely not done that in the past, and it's all kind of a learning experience. We will replicate that process on the second slab of soap, and the nice part about adding this texture is that the bottom layer is going to be really well set up, but not too set up, just enough that when we pour our second batch of soap over the top of it, it's not going to squish everything down. Then Zac will go in with 3 different micas. We're going to do one of our favorites, which is a gold ultra sparkle mica from Brambleberry. We're then going to go in with some evergreen mica, which is in that, I don't know what those containers are actually called, that like bar juice container. We keep our large micas in there. And then we're also going to go in with some purple mica as well. We want to make sure that this is nice and evenly coated, because it is going to be a mica line, and if you're kind of spotty with a mica line in between bars of soap or layers of soap, it's not going to look as good as if it's a solid, continuous like layer of mica. There is a limit though, and you don't want to go too heavy-handed, because if you do, there is going to be a weak point in the bar of soap, which is where that mica line is, because the soap from the top layer and the bottom layer won't be able to adhere to each other. So do keep that in mind. Don't go too crazy and like layer lots of different micas together. You want to do just enough to have a dusting, but not too much that it's like caked on top. We are then going to just repeat the process as we did earlier. Blitz up the soap batter, add in that silvery gray mica blend, and then also add in our signature essential oil blend and our kaolin clay, which we soak in our fragrance oil or our essential oil all the time. It just helps make that fragrance oil last a lot longer, and if it's a delicate fragrance, it makes it kind of survive the soaping process. And by that I mean that sometimes, well, all the time really, soap gets up really hot. Cold process soap heats up basically as part of the chemical reaction, and it can cook off some of that fragrance. And so if you have a really delicate fragrance, it'll actually like cook off that scent, and it won't last the soaping process. So examples of this could be like a really light floral scent, or maybe a lemon scent or something like that. It will cook it all off, and then it won't smell like you actually have anything in there. Most fragrance oils and even essential oils on the websites you purchase them from, as long as they're a reputable source, should tell you if the fragrance oil is cold process soap safe, or if it is only good for melt and pour or candles or like face and body products, because they all kind of have different requirements to make them good in that soap. We will use our scraper there to break the fall of that soap batter. The bottom layer is pretty well set up, and that mica is pretty well adhered to that bottom layer of soap, but you never can be too careful, so we'll just use that to break the fall. And then we're going to repeat the mica lines that we did in that middle between the 2 layers of soap on the top of the soap, with the subtraction of the spoon swoop. So we're going to go in with our little tea strainer here, and we'll do just a little dusting of that gold mica, which this is one of our favorite micas. It just is so pretty, especially on like a contrasting color background. Like this gray, silvery gray and gold looks really pretty together. It looks really nice on like a deep dark background as well. We use this on our lumberjack soap, which is a activated charcoal black soap on the top, and this just kind of contrasts that really beautifully. The one thing to keep in mind when you are doing a mica dusting on the top of the soap, and I think I talked about this in the drag brunch soap video, and I'll put a card up in the corner there if you didn't see that, is that you want to use a sparing hand when you are dusting the tops of soap with mica, not because it will mess up your soap or make it not work or something like that, but it may transfer if you use more mica than what the moisture in the soap can grab onto. And certain colors are really kind of knotty and they don't like to stay on the top of soap, or they transfer. So front of mind for me is our Trial by Fire red mica that we use from, I think that's from Mad Micas if I'm not mistaken. It transfers to everything. It stays on the side of our soap containers that we transport our soap to farmers markets in. It gets on your fingers, it gets all over. So like that's one that we probably wouldn't dust with, but all of the ones that I used here do behave nicely. And I don't know where the clip of the top design went, but we went in with our chopstick and just did some swirls to incorporate that mica dusting into the bar soap a little bit better. This does help with that transfer that I was talking about as well, where it keeps the mica kind of in the actual soap and not all over the place. And then we are just gonna break our slab into 3 loaves. And then we will break out Dorothy, our multi-bar cutter, to see what that mica line looks like. And that is exactly what we were going for. It looks a little better in person than on camera right there. You can see that green, the purple, and the gold. The green and the purple on camera weirdly look very similar, but in person you can actually see the difference. Like I said, this one is probably my second favorite of our Citrus in July collection. I did save my most favorite soap for last, so that's the last video that I'll be posting in this month of July, and it's our ginger lime spritz soap. It is my most favorite. Spoiler alert again, it already sold out, so you can't actually even buy it. All of our other Citrus in July soaps are still available on our website, rainbrocrafts.com. My question for you all from my random question generator that I use is, have you ever made bread from scratch, so start to finish? I, like a lot of people during COVID, did. I had a sourdough starter that I started. It did get cooked in the heat. We had a heat wave at some point during COVID, and our house isn't super well insulated, and I had it in a cabinet, and the cabinet got too hot and the sourdough starter got all cooked and it was nasty. But I do have a new one. Her name is Yara Lofia. She's in the fridge right now because it's way too hot to be making soap. If you do want to get soaps, candles, or bath bombs sent to your house each and every month and join this lovely group of individuals that is coming up on screen right now, check out our website, rainbrocrafts.com, to become a subscriber, and we'll send you goodies each and every month as a thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video. Comment down below if you've ever made soap, or if you've ever made bread from scratch, start to finish, or soap for that matter. Subscribe to the channel and ring that bell icon so you get notified when we release new videos. Thanks. Bye.